All right, I'm back. Your girl is back for another petty pop-up. Real heavy on the petty. I'm just here to state my petty opinion. Welcome to all my fellow petty betties and kind. What have y'all been doing this week? I know y'all getting ready to play Santa Claus. I'm trying to get in the spirit, y'all, but things just not the same. It's a big difference in waiting for Santa and playing Santa. These YouTube streets have been on fire per usual. We get more tea from these YouTube streets than we get from this actual show. So, with that said, y'all, everything said in this video is alleged, in my opinion, and used for educational and entertaining purposes. Okay, so the name of this one is Feeling Protected and Using Protection. Love and Marriage Huntsville, episode 29. Okay, y'all. So the opening, we have the Fletchers trying to call everybody to the table to eat. Stormy and Courtney come in, and they come in with the baby, talking about they missed their flight and blah, blah, blah. So they show Stormy and Courtney in the confessional, y'all. Somebody tap Stormy on the shoulder and tell her that real live animals not allowed on the set, because I swear to God, this girl looks like a real live zebra. What is it about Stormy's nose and her mouth where it always looks like she's smelling something? She always, her lips, like she's always turned up like something, she smells something stink or something. I don't know, y'all. That's just my observation. But anyway, everybody comes in, gets to the table. Marceau remarked that he was surprised that Chris made Neil a plate. And he would be surprised, being him, because the last thing he finna do is anything to help his wife. I just don't know why these married people don't understand that marriage is give and take. Some days your wife fix you a plate, some days you fix her a plate. Yin yang, evenly yoked and all of these things. But obviously, some of us didn't learn those lessons. They don't get it. They think the wife's supposed to be a slave and do whatever the husband wants them to do. Anyway, so Maurice says something, and then Marceau says, from what I heard from your own mouth, I thought I was the worst brother. So then Maurice goes into this explanation, this half-ass explanation for how he got caught up trying to make a joke with Carlos King. And here come Captain Save-A-Ho Kimmy. People say stuff and it comes out wrong. But my dilemma with Maurice is it took him too long to figure out that it came out wrong. It ain't came out wrong. It came out exactly how he intended it to come out. So Mel said, do you really feel that way? Because that's more concerning. Is how you feel in your heart. Is that how you feel in your heart? Because that would be more concerning than how it came out. So Maurice says that if he could press a delete button, he would delete it, and he'd go back to being the perfect husband, as if he was ever the perfect husband. Kimmy gave him a look like, yeah, I agree with the delete button. The perfect husband, I don't know about that. But anyway, he never did say, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean, what I said. I didn't mean how it came out. I meant to actually say XYZ, or he didn't ever give a different explanation. He didn't ever say, that's not what I meant. What he said was, if I could delete it and y'all couldn't hear it, then I would delete it. He didn't never say that's how he, that's not how he felt. So anyway, they go on. Nell and everybody sees the ring on Martel's finger. Martel looks like shit warmed over, by the way. Um, um, So Neil asks Martel, "What's up with the ring you got on?" He just grinning like a Cheshire cat. So Kimmy turns to Mel and say, "Is that the ring that you gave him? Is that his wedding ring?" Mel said, "I haven't looked down now. She ain't thinking about that man." Martel is very much a narcissist. He's very much trying to get attention, right? So what other reason would he be wearing that wedding ring? Then try to be coy when people ask him where he get the ring or why is he wearing it. He ain't answer nobody question. He ain't answer nobody question so much to the point they turn around and start asking Mel. Like that's the logical thing to do. Miss Logical Captain Save a Ho Kimmy turns to Mel and asks her since Martel won't answer their questions. Anyway, Marceau had to be the one to shut it all down and say, "No, we're not gonna do that. This is Melody Hope. This is Melody Riders, and that is Martel Hope." So anyway, um, they usually get into that same pattern of blinking them together. They obviously have a difficult time separating the two. But I know that this woman has changed her name. She has done everything she can to separate herself from this man. But in this group, I don't care what they do, they're gonna still link those two together. So Stormy and Courtney get up. Now, I mean, they just came in and sat down with the baby. Stormy and Courtney get up and leave to go back to the airport. I guess the babysitter done arrived now. So they're going back to get to the babysitter. Okay. So Marceau reaches up for the baby. And Courtney said, "You don't watch your own kids." Y'all remember when Marceau told Tisha them was her kids? Yeah, right. I wouldn't let you hold my baby neither. So they get into this conversation talking about Marceau and kids, and Marceau goes, "What is it about Marceau and kids?" And he asked Tisha, "Did she tell anybody what they were talking about earlier?" And Tisha was like, "What? Like that's irrelevant to what we're talking about." So anyway, they get into this big discussion about Marceau and Letitia. Letitia took a pregnancy test. Okay, y'all, why is it unreasonable for a wife to discuss these things with her husband, right? This is the person who she's sleeping with, right? So why shouldn't she be speaking to him about things that are going on with her body and they can, determine what the next step is that they're going to take because her health should be very important to him and vice versa. So why shouldn't the wife discuss with her husband if she took a pregnancy test or not? Why is there no trust between this couple? Now, unless there's something that because we know how sneaky these people are, we know they're liars, and we know they are not presenting their real life. But come on, y'all. At the very least, you should be able to speak to your husband about things going on with your body. We all know that, with a vasectomy, it's a very small chance that the woman can get pregnant. We all know that this woman not pregnant. She just talking and thought she was coming up with a fancy storyline, and it just didn't sit well with Marceau. If any of this can even be believed, because and I know that a lot of these people don't do nothing but lie. But anyway, even if she was being a ditzy, dumb blonde or whatever and decided to take the test, what's wrong with it? Why can't she cancel that out as something that could have been wrong and move on to the next step? Go see your doctor and see what kind of panel of tests they can run to find out what's going on with your sickness. Why? Listen, so not only do we have to be subjected to hearing about Captain Save a Whole Kimmy dry box, now we got to hear about Letitia and Marceau with their little baby issue. You know what, y'all? There is nothing sacred no more. There's just nothing sacred no more. And I was coming up with certain things that you didn't put on display and talk about in public. I know that in this new age of social media. And I understand that this is a reality show, but even with it being a reality show, there is a way to phrase what you're saying without being totally crass. This group of people is low class, totally crass people that want y'all to believe that they are millionaires. It is just no way. So then Captain Save a Ho Kimmy goes on to say that Marceau is being reasonable. Leave it for a pick-me to start caping for a man. That Marceau is being reasonable to assume that um she would have cheated or something. Girl, anyway, I'm not even gonna finish that out. So anyway, Nell makes the suggestion that the guys take the conversation out to the card table and they gonna go out to the jacuzzi. So they go to the jacuzzi. And our good sis Mel shows up with her glasses on where Tisha says, "Oh, you look like Martel. Martel had glasses on." Girl, so what? Who cares what Martel? You think everything that woman ain't thinking about Martel. How many times do she have to tell y'all she is not thinking about Martel? It's like they keep throwing him back up in her face. Like the woman done changed her name and she is trying to move on with her life. All of y'all need to move the hell on too. Unless y'all stuck on stupid, which I do believe y'all are. So anyway, the ladies go out to the jacuzzi, and Mel is got her phone. She's in the jacuzzi, and I don't know if for some reason she just randomly started talking and saying that one of her biggest regrets is that she's stayed or spent all the time with a man that never gave her the orgasm, and everybody was acting like they was so shocked. Oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Girl, it's men right now that couldn't find their head if you didn't put their hand on top and show them where it's at, child. It is not unbelievable to me. Then Tisha gonna tell Mel, well, you sure love yourself, because Mel had a phone taking selfies and stuff. She said like she do when she on vacation. You sure love yourself, girl. You know what's sad is that you should really love yourself, yourself, Tisha. And you need to pick another color for that bathing suit, honey, because the bathing suit was not bathing suit then, okay? Anyway, so that was pretty much all that they talked about in this scene. They all act like they were so shocked that Mel said that she had never had an orgasm with Martel and blah blah blah. Anyway, so they show the men at the card table. The men talking about the same. Here we go again. The men talking about the same thing. The only sensible thing that was said was Chris saying, "How about you communicate? Communicate with your wife, because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, husband and wives should be able to communicate. So why all these grown adults are offering all this unsolicited advice, I don't know. It is amazing to me, the stuff that they talk about. But I think these must be the most low class, low vibrational men that I ever seen on my TV screen. Like they are really making Huntsville, Alabama look really bad. This whole collection of men right here is just like bottom of the freaking barrel, okay? So anyway, Maurice says that she based her opinion off of her feelings, and Maurice was telling Marceau that he was embarrassing or whatever. Marceau left for the night. He was like he didn't want to talk about it or whatever. So he talks to Tisha. Him and Tisha goes back and forth. And I just have never seen a married couple have this argument, because if she is feeling sick or having some issue with her body, who else is she going to speak to about it besides her husband? And for him to be so offended that she could possibly be pregnant as if they are not sleeping together, just because he had a vasectomy. Now, I understand to a degree that it is not common for a person to get pregnant, but if you are having a healthy um um life with your wife, things will happen that could cause that to happen, okay? And so if you are married to a ditz with however many degrees that can't spell or use spell check, why wouldn't she think she was pregnant? Like, come on. She can't think about nothing else. So, I mean, I really think that she came up with this for a storyline. It just didn't play out how she thought. But his attempts to pretend like he is so perplexed about this, it's just don't make sense. It's not really fitting together for a couple who is supposed to be so happily married, and they love to brag that they have been together the longest, and they they what they doing works for them, and evidently not if y'all can't even converse about what's going on in y'all household, because honestly and truly it's not anybody else's business. Like, that should be discussed between y'all two. And even if you did bring it to the group, there is a way to phrase things so as not to embarrass your partner or really reveal exactly what you're, or what situation you're talking about. You can use hypotheticals. All these college students, and nobody knows how to speak to other adults in the room anyway. Y'all, this is all made up, because you cannot make me believe that this woman thought she was pregnant for real. Like, why would that be your first thought? And when you go to a doctor first, or when you get some type of confirmation before you go around telling everybody this ditzy stuff. Anyway, y'all, I can't with this continued storyline, because for me, they reaching. It feels uh made up. It feels like a fault. It feels false. Like, I don't believe it. It's like a lie. You know what I mean? So anyway, Maurice was passing by and he heard them kind of arguing or whatever. So I think Marcel was trying to tell Maurice, look, I don't need you to intervene. It's sad when you have to tell other grown people, keep your opinions to your dang on self. Like, nobody asked you. Now, you can't understand your own wife. You and your own wife, y'all can't get y'all sex life together, but you want to come tell me how to handle my wife. See, people need to learn how to mind their own business. You need to be over there tending to your wife and let Marcel tend to his. So anyway, Maurice tries to play lawyer and tells Tisha, where you were acting off of feeling, and but anyway. um so then they flash to um Martel bringing this woman in the house, y'all. Now, they are all adults. It's nothing wrong with adults having company and whatnot in their spare time or whatever. To my knowledge, this is a cast trip, right? So this trip is for the cast. And for him to bring that woman in the house from out in the street, she looked like a scallywag that he got off of, what's the name of that street in Houston where you go get the prostitutes at? This is why I got a problem with it. I mean, it's not about Mel. It's not about Mel at all. Let me tell y'all a story, a side story. A friend of mine that I met, he from New Orleans. I met him when he moved down here during Hurricane Katrina. We've been friends ever since. We used to go to the gym, hang out, go to breakfast after work sometime. Okay, good friend. We laugh, cut up. So he was telling me about, he be going on these websites, he be meeting these women and stuff. He's talking about Plenty of Fish. Oh, he's telling me about, what a good time he met this woman, blah, blah, blah. And he meeting all this woman on Plenty of Fish. Okay. Every time we were, he got a story to tell me about this woman he met on Plenty of Fish. So one day he came to work. He was all beat up. He had a black eye. He had scratches all on him and stuff. And he kept avoiding me all day. And I was like, friend, what's going on? What happened to you? He kept his back to me. He kept turning around. He didn't want me to look at him. I said, boy, what's going on with you? Long story short, come to find out, he met a woman on Plenty of Fish, and when he went to meet the woman, he went to the woman's apartment, and the woman had been that he told me they had been going back and forth. The woman had gave him all these hard luck stories about paying bills and stuff, and he had like some cash money on him. I guess that he was planning on giving the woman or whatever. And two guys came out of the back room and beat him up and took his money and all that. So in essence, he got robbed fooling around with the women on Plenty of Fish. That's why this is disrespectful to me, because in this day and age of fraud, in this day and age of social media, in this day and age of people being unalive because their GPS location being revealed, or people watching you finding out the address of where you're located, coming to that address and unaliving people so that they can steal and rob from them. This is a cast of a TV show. Some of the people on this show are very affluent and wealthy. So if you bring some average Joe off the street in, you don't know what that person's intentions are. You don't know where this could have gone, and in turn you subject everybody to the whims of somebody who you don't even know. You could have brought doom on everybody, including yourself. It just was not a smart thing to do. It's not so much about male, it's disrespect to everybody, because at the very least, people should have known or had the choice to say whether they wanted to be, involved, or, because like, if you're going to be somewhere where you think you're safe, and then somebody within the group brings in random people in off the street that you don't know what their intentions are. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that opens everybody up to danger. So that's what it was about for me. Not about you being grown and you can do what you want to do. Well, go home then. If you're grown, you can do what you want to do. Go to her house. If you're grown, you can do what you want to do. Go to a hotel. You didn't have to bring her there around those people without their knowledge. Anyway, on to the next. Because all that stuff he's doing is for attention. So at 30 minutes ago, an hour, 2 hours ago, whatever it was, they flashed on the screen, you was wearing a wedding ring, had everybody asking you about why you wearing the wedding ring, and you just sitting there smiling and grinning, glad for the attention, and you said that you was just trying to wish for thinking, but 2 hours later you bringing some random woman in the house. Boy, get out of here. That makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so anyway, the next scene, the show, Martel goes to check on Marceau, because I guess he overheard him and Tisha arguing, and you should have heard those bottom feeder statistics they kept rattling out. Marceau said that 99% of wives aren't faithful. I don't know what world he live in. I don't know where this man getting his statistics from, but let me tell y'all, these men are just showing who they are, and they are bottom of the barrel. I mean, you just don't get no lower than this group of men, right? So anyway, I don't know if it's a storyline or if the man really, really feel like that, but these are some low class people, okay? But yeah, that's all I got from that scene, was that he said that 99% of wives aren't faithful. Anything Martel say not valid anyway, because he is the cheater. He a cheater himself. So how much advice can he give you? Because from what I know about the history of the show, is the Scott brothers are the ones who turned him on to what they was doing, which is why both of them got vasectomies, because of Martel's plight with his side chick end up with a baby. The last thing they wanted was that they didn't want to be found out and ruin their marriages by having a baby. And so both of them went and had a vasectomy so as not to be like Martel. So Martel, they don't want your advice. They don't want your advice. They are definitely going to make sure they don't do what you did, sir. Okay, y'all. The next scene, baby. Baby. Somebody need to tap Tisha and Kimmy, Captain Saberho, Kimmy on the shoulder and tell them, don't you never let these people film y'all without no makeup, baby. Kimmy look like the Wicked Witch of the East, and Tisha like the Wicked Witch of the West. I mean, baby, y'all are downright ugly without that makeup on. I mean, Kimmy got these bags and dark circles around her eyes, and I don't know why she always doing this fake grinning. I don't know what her deal is. It's just something flicked about her mouth and how she be holding her mouth, looking all crazy. And Tisha, baby, Tisha look busted and disgusted. I don't know what her deal is, hey baby, but don't y'all never let them people film y'all without no makeup on y'all face, okay? That's a public service announcement. Okay, y'all. So the next scene is the Fletchers setting up for this so say team building exercise for everybody. So during the team building, during their setting up for the games or whatever that they supposed to play, Neil tells Chris that Kiki called her and she invited her to come. So Chris was kind of like, well, you done ruined the whole trip. He thinks Kiki gonna ruin the whole trip. He don't think there's absolutely nothing wrong with Martel bringing some strange woman in the house, but he think Kiki being there gonna ruin the whole trip. Okay, well, if Martel brought somebody in the house and none of y'all didn't get to wake up the next day, that's okay. But you think Kiki gonna ruin the trip because her and Tisha don't get along and she threw some water on Tisha, but Anyway, um, so Nell tells him that she invited Kiki. He basically told her, you on your own, you gotta handle it. And then so that's when he told her that Martel bought some girl in the house that night. And she was like, that's disrespectful, because Mel is here. It wasn't disrespectful because Mel is there. It's disrespectful to all of y'all because y'all didn't know her intentions and what danger y'all could have possibly been open to by him bringing some weird random scallywag in the house. But anyway, you can't make these men of Huntsville have or see any wrong with anything that they're doing, and I don't know why these women are playing these violins, honey, because if you ain't ready for to do nothing, just go ahead and shut up, okay? So anyway, they have a little argument about it. He tells her that ain't nothing wrong with it. If Mel had brought somebody, it wouldn't have been nothing wrong with it. The way Mel moves and the way Mel do things, Mel is classy, honey. If Mel did have somebody and was planning on doing something, none of y'all would have knew nothing about it because that's not how that woman moved. And she can afford to get a hotel or go somewhere and spend time with whoever it is she want to spend time with. She don't have to sneak nobody in the house because she ain't got a dollar to rent a room or go elsewhere. Anyway, so Chris goes with his little horn and try to gather everybody up for the team building exercise. Okay, the last thing is show them getting ready for the trust fall. So this is the scene from the next episode. You know how they drag everything out. So they done gathered everybody up. Everybody's standing around. Martel is standing there waiting to do a trust fall with Mel. Why are they paired up? Why did they pair them up? Isn't this exactly what that woman asked y'all not to do? She asked y'all not to keep lumping them together. I just want to tell the Fletchers, y'all are some horrible. Y'all supposed to be mentors for the whole group. Y'all are some horrible mentors because you could have had Mel choose someone out of the group that she had issues with that they wanted to try to resolve. Some type of try to get some type of resolution with, and the same for Martel. You could have substituted yourself, or Chris could have stood in for Mel, and Neil could have stood in for Martel. They could have did a couple of different things other than pair those people up together. Now I don't know if this show is produced, and it is a show, and they do like drama, and they don't care about male feelings, obviously. So this woman asked them 2 or 3 times to not be pairing them up together, lumping their names together. They've been doing it the whole time, making jokes, kikiing and laughing, and it was getting ready for to go off on a tangent when Martel and he still got the ring on. But whoever is producing this show is doing a really crappy job at it. But anyway, so next week, it's going to be a continuation of this scene with the trust fall. They show another scene where I don't know what Martel fussing about, talking about me. She cheated, I cheated. He's still trying to plead his case that this woman cheated. You just showed everybody how disrespectful you are by bringing some random scallywag in the house. But you want everybody to think that that woman was cheating. Boy, get out of here. Get a life. Move on. Get over it. The woman has divorced you. Whatever happened in the marriage is ancient history now. It don't even matter. Nobody even cares. And you're not going to convince anybody that this woman did anything untoward in the marriage, because you are continuing to prove exactly who you are, a disrespectful, low down, dirty piece of trash. You're showing everybody exactly who you are. And they showed Nell in her confessional saying how disappointed she was. Oh, don't be disappointed. This is the person who y'all want to retain a friendship with. And he's going to continue to show you that he's disrespectful. He's going to continue to show you exactly who he is, because what else can he do? So they showed a couple of other scenes from next week. They showed where, I don't know if this is a therapist. Hopefully they got somebody professional other than just Nell and Chris, because clearly they are not professional and they're really not good at being mentors for the group. Because like Nell said, you do have to be fair to everybody. And if this is a cast trip, then the entire cast should be on the trip, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So other people on this cast have to knuckle like you buck. They have to suck their little feelings up and deal with people who are in the room that they may not want to deal with. So why shouldn't Tisha have to do the same? Can she not mature up some and grow up a little bit? Sitting over there looking like the grimace. But anyway, they showed a scene where the therapist had everybody gathered and was saying that some work needed to be done. They showed another scene where Kiki shows up, and they showed another scene. But anyway, what do y'all think about this episode? What did y'all rate this episode? I'll tell you what I thought. Seriously. I went back and looked. I was like, so that's 52 minutes of my life that I can't get back. I mean, I really didn't like it at all. I know they're trying to set it up, for the grand finale. But yeah, I didn't like the themes that kept coming up in this, episode. I mean, I'm tired of hearing about Kimmy dry beach box, and I don't want to hear nothing about Tisha and Marceau pregnant problems. They are married couple. If she get pregnant, good. Have you another baby. If they don't, if they're not pregnant, that's fine. But for him to try to insinuate that she cheating on him, it's just blasphemous, the stuff that these people are doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it does not correlate. It don't make good sense. Like I said, whoever is producing this show is doing a really crappy job. I guess I'd give it a 3 if I had to give it a number. um I don't know, y'all. I just be trying to support my good sis Mel, but this show is just draining. It's just a lot of tomfoolery and foolishness that don't make any sense. Like, we're gonna go from talking about this person libido to this person pregnant. Come on, y'all. We are adults. We do not need anybody else's unsolicited advice. These people acting like they ain't even high school. They acting like elementary kids, junior high school. Like, who even cares what all those other people have to say? Like, in your marriage, you married to that other person. The only person's perspective and view you should care about in relation to whatever choices you're making is your mate. Who cares what these other random people who don't have no space to speak about anybody? Who cares what they say? Like, and then why are you going to make it unreasonable for this woman to go to her husband and talk to how she feeling and whatever health problems she having? They trying to, Tisha and Marcel trying to act like they got a normal marriage, or that they behave normally like normal folks. Like I think that she agreed to sign on for some indentured servitude, and now she trying to change up the script, and Marcel ain't with it. No, no, no. You said you was gonna be a slave. Sit over there and be a slave. And Kimmy, boy, if you don't show every episode that you a pick me, every time you supposed to show that you can stand together with your fellow castmate and show some girl power, here you go caping and covering some man who don't even deserve it. But anyway, y'all, that's all for my rant. Lord, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Thank you guys for watching. Until the next episode, everybody go forth and prosper. I will see you next time. Peace.